Hi, it's Pauline with Jump Out of Bed again. I wanted to thank you for all of the great comments and feedback I got from the video earlier this week. Certainly hope that you've taken the time with your meeting attendees and your team to talk about meeting norms and get this thing called business dress code in the new life of COVID under wraps. Certainly there's a lot of pressing issues facing leaders and teams right now, and the least of which is what we're wearing to our Zoom calls. So I hope that was a helpful thought. Let's talk about another topic someone asked me to share some information on, and of course I'm also going to invite if there's anything you would like me to speak to, provided it's something normally in my wheelhouse of what I would deliver with Jump Out of Bed. I'm more than happy to speak on that. So that's this idea, this change of working from home. And when we look at personalities in the workplace, there's a really big spectrum. And I've worked with all sorts of different tools, and I service a couple of them in helping people understand the different personalities of coworkers. But and everyone on a team, what's so important to understand right now is that there's different needs based on who you are. On a very simplistic scale, we look at people on the introverted extroverted scale. So by simple definition, an introvert is an individual who gets their energy from within. So they can go through their day of work, they can go to meetings, they might even seem somewhat outgoing to some of us. And at the end of the day, they're exhausted, they've overstayed their people contact, so to speak, and they just need to go and re-energize solo, right? So it might be things like reading a book or going through a website by themselves, scrolling through their feed. They go within. That's the introverted crew. The extroverted crew, on the other hand, gets their energy from being around other people. And they're the folks that could go through an entire day in your former office setting, lots of people contact, and they're like, hey, what are you doing after work? Do you want to go grab a drink? So they're looking for social activity, and they gain momentum by being with other people. So you can imagine, as most of us have moved into this work from home environment right now, this introvert extrovert scale is a really critical thing for us to look at. So you've probably seen the memes. I have. They made me laugh. An introvert is doing like jumping jacks, if an introvert ever does jumping jacks, and that is, they're pretty thrilled with this situation. Like, they couldn't have wished anything better. They get to stay home. They're isolated. They don't have to see anyone. Their one shop or their one exit of their house is the time that they go grocery shopping and get what they need. And so for them, this is quite a comfort zone, and it doesn't provide any sort of additional stress. The folks that we probably really want to focus on in our teams are the folks who are extroverted, those that get their energy by being around other folks. And they're the ones, especially for team leads, is we need to check in with them. What possibly might they need from us as a team leader, and might need from the team. Part of that could be just checking in and making sure that all the other team members are doing okay. So I would encourage you, once again, this is such a human time that we're going through. And I know that sounds weird, but being human in your meetings really matters. Leading with an authentic check-in. How is everyone doing? What's going on? Does anyone need anything right now? I spoke with a client of mine today, and was so overjoyed to hear that that's exactly what was going on in their organization, in terms that this individual's team leader runs the meetings exactly like that, checks in with everybody. And the other thing that we might want to consider as well is checkouts of meetings or checkouts at the end of the day. But our extroverted folks certainly are probably having some unusual or extra challenges by this whole idea of physical isolation. Now, it's not necessary that we have to stay socially isolated. So how do we handle that in a work context? You've probably heard and seen that a lot of people are having happy hours virtually, whether that's in I'm certainly a part of those, but it's in my personal life. There's office happy hours as well, where people get together Friday at 4:00, get on some sort of a video chat, and it's just social. It's the kind of stuff that you and I used to do when we were in the office. We bumped into each other in the kitchen or at the water cooler, and we were just exchanging those small parts. And I think that's a key part of having people feel connected. So one of the things to be mindful of is we're not all moving through this experience in the exact same way. Certainly on the introvert extrovert scale, there's a lot of considerations that I'd like you to stop and think about as a leader of your team. And what is it that the members of your team might most need from you now, knowing that there is a wide difference on that spectrum. So hang in there. We are in this together. Have a great day.